Have you ever heard of someone vanishing into thin air, only for the truth to resurface in the most heartbreaking way? This isn't just a story about a missing person. It's about a mother, her baby, and a family's desperate search for answers that ended in tragedy. Today, we're diving into the mysterious case of Lila Warren and her 9-month-old daughter Clara, whose disappearance left their small California town in shock, and whose fate, discovered weeks later, still haunts those who knew them. Lila Warren was 37 years old, living a modest but happy life in the town of Millbrook, California. She wasn't a celebrity, she wasn't wealthy. She was just a loving mother of 3 trying to raise her children with kindness and stability. Friends often described her as warm, approachable, and the kind of person who never hesitated to help a neighbor. Her daughter Clara, not yet a year old, had just begun giggling at everything, waving her tiny hands in excitement at even the simplest things, like the family's golden retriever walking past. Lila lived with her longtime partner, David Carter, a construction foreman, and their 2 older kids, 10-year-old Ethan and 7-year-old Maisa. The family was close, supportive, and full of the kind of small, everyday routines that bring comfort. Shared dinners, weekend soccer games, bedtime stories. But everything changed on a hot July afternoon. On July 16th, Lila had a doctor's appointment for Clara. It was nothing unusual, just a regular checkup. She strapped Clara into her car seat in her silver 2007 SUV, kissed her other kids goodbye, and promised to be home by evening. At 5 p.m., she left the clinic. Cameras caught her SUV on a nearby traffic light about half an hour later. Witnesses said she looked calm, focused on the road. Nothing seemed out of place. Her plan was simple. After the appointment, she would drive north toward Stockton to visit her brother for dinner. But she never arrived. David expected a quick call or text. Instead, hours passed. By nightfall, concern set in. Still, David thought, maybe she decided to spend the night at her brother's place. It had happened before. But when the next morning came, and still no word from Lila, worry turned into dread. David began calling her phone repeatedly. No answer. Messages went unread. He drove by her brother's house, no sign of her. By the second day, the family realized something was terribly wrong. Her phone had last pinged off a tower near Lake Woodson, a rural area off Highway 126. That was nowhere near where she was supposed to be. Her silver SUV was distinctive. It had a cracked driver's side headlight, making it stand out. Police checked highway cameras. Around 8 p.m. on the day she vanished, it was caught passing through a small town called Ashford. After that, nothing. It was as if Lila and Clara had simply disappeared. On July 20th, 4 days later, the family filed a formal missing persons report. The police initially treated the case cautiously. Adults go missing for various reasons, they said. Maybe Lila wanted space. Maybe she decided to leave on her own. But her family pushed back. This isn't like her, David insisted. She wouldn't disappear without telling me, not with Clara in the car, not without checking on Ethan and Mia. Her brother Mark was even more direct. Something happened to her. She didn't just leave. News outlets began to pick up the story. Flyers with Lila and Clara's faces spread across town. Volunteers organized search parties, walking fields, checking abandoned barns, and scouring roadside ditches. A specialized dive team called Hope Divers joined the effort. They had helped solve cold cases before by searching waterways that police overlooked. On social media, the hashtag #FindLila, and Clara began trending locally. Dozens of strangers volunteered their time and resources. Some offered drones. Others supplied boats. Still, weeks passed. No trace. At home, David struggled to hold the family together. Ethan asked, "When is Mom coming home?" While little Mia clung to her dad, afraid he might leave too. David barely slept, consumed by worry. Every time his phone rang, his heart jumped, hoping for good news. But each time, it was either another dead end or silence. Mark, Lila's brother, grew frustrated with the slow progress. We need answers. We can't just sit and wait. The community organized vigils, holding candles and praying for their safe return. Yet, deep down, many feared the worst. On August 17th, more than a month after Lila and Clara vanished, Hope divers began searching a channel off Victory Road in San Joaquin County. It wasn't far from where her phone last pinged. As divers descended into the murky water, one of them spotted something metallic beneath the surface. It was the outline of a vehicle. When they wiped away the algae, the truth became clear. A silver 2007 SUV, half buried in the mud. The broken headlight confirmed it. It was Lila's car. Inside, authorities found two bodies. One belonged to an adult woman. The other, a baby. Though formal identification would take time, there was little doubt. The search for Lila and Clara was over. The Fresno police confirmed the discovery in a statement, saying they were working with the Sheriff's Department and Highway Patrol to investigate how the vehicle ended up underwater. The news devastated the community. For weeks, people had clung to hope. Now, that hope was shattered. Mark spoke to reporters through tears. It hurts more than I can say. But at least now we know. At least we don't have to wonder anymore. David held his two children close. They have to grow up without their mom, without their baby sister. That's what breaks me the most, he said quietly. Neighbors brought food, flowers, and cards. A small memorial formed near the waterway where the car was found. Candles flickered against the night sky, each flame representing love and grief. Investigators believe the SUV may have veered off the road by accident, though they continue to look at all possibilities. Whether it was a tragic mistake or something more sinister remains unanswered. But for the family, the cause hardly mattered anymore. What mattered was the loss of a mother and her child. Two lives gone too soon. Lila's story is more than just a headline. It's a reminder of how fragile life is and how quickly it can change. For her family, the pain is unimaginable. But for the rest of us, there's a lesson to carry forward. Cherish the people you love. Don't wait to say the words that matter, because in the end, we never know how much time we have left. Sometimes the smallest families carry the heaviest losses, but it's love and love alone that helps them survive. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.